It's not the maps, not the mountains, not the magic, not even kings or society.
If you're creating your own world, you need to start with the heart. You gotta give it emotion. More specifically, one emotion.
Which one?
You, the writer, get to choose that. We're getting into the difference between writing and good writing. And simply put, good writing evokes the emotions the writer wanted to evoke. So let's start our worlds with a core emotion, one that will guide the entire story. Of course, your world and your story are intricate, but if you were to zoom out, to simplify, what is the feeling that would pop out? The emotional epicenter of the tale. Most narrative essays and pieces of advice just assume you're writing for a genre, and that genre has a couple of emotions associated with it. In some situations that's super useful, but in others it's not. So let's just step away from this logic for a little bit. Imagine that every book, every game, every story, every world had to create its own microgenre. This is a story about wonder. This is a story about relaxation. This is a story about kindness. This is a story about power. That doesn't mean that every part of your story and your world will induce the same emotional state. Contrast is a powerful tool to guide the human heart. So sometimes your story about relaxation will have moments and places of stress. Your story about hope will have moments and places of despair. One of the most beloved scenes in the highly magical world of Howl's Moving Castle is just cooking breakfast. Easy as that. But that means that when both Hayao Miyazaki and Diana Wynne Jones, if you didn't know, Studio Ghibli adapted the story from a Welsh book. It's a good book. Anyway, when they both ask themselves, is this breakfast thing going to contribute to the core experience I want to create with this story? Is this breakfast pressing the right buttons in people's hearts? They both decided that yes, the characters could have magicked some food, but instead they cooked bacon and eggs like we do. It was a nice little contrast moment and a solid world-building decision. So for a moment, just for a second, pretend the literary genres don't exist, never existed, never heard of it. In such a case, what is the emotional state that your story is trying to evoke? This will guide all sorts of narrative decisions. Perhaps your world is about healing from grief, and you'll find that both long stretches of peace and quiet, and also places of intense beauty and exhilaration are equally important to get there. Perhaps your story is about finding kindness even when it's hard, so you'll make sure to show a lot of different hardships being fought with that same kindness. Wait a second, you might say. Those are emotions. But those things you mentioned before, those are not really emotions, are they? Jorian, you silly goose. Well spotted, hypothetical person. I don't understand why our emotional language is so limited. The words we have are totally insufficient. The human heart can experience, so much more than any of that. But that's okay, because we have metaphor, and metaphor is infinitely flexible. I'm angry might give you a vague idea, useful but not specific. A cold, angry stare might be a little bit better, but I'm angry like I stepped on 10 Legos one after the other. I'm angry like Jeff Bezos bought Nutella and decided to discontinue it. I'm angry like my hamster decapitated my other hamster and he's just there, just being fluffy. Those feel different, and the granularity here is boundless. Your world doesn't need to be about a vague emotion. You can go deeper than that. I even lied to you in my previous examples, but hey, it was to build a point. Forgive me. So now that you climbed a mountain and meditated for 14 days and got to that core emotional state you'd like to provoke, you even created a little sentence that guides you to that feeling you want to explore. Now, how do you make sure your reader will get there as well? Well, that's the topic for another video. The emotional state I was going for with this video here was a mix between curiosity and How did I do? No, wait, better, write a comment below with a metaphor for how you felt watching this video. Be creative. Thanks for watching, everyone. A special thank you to my patrons, and I'll see you folks next time. Bye.